Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal, and the Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. So a couple housekeeping things, some meat and potato items. It is free to follow me. It is free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. It's free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea. I can't talk today. Anonymous Tea Podcast. Got content coming over there today. TikTok. I promise I got content coming over there today on Anonymous Tea Podcast. For as long as we'll have TikTok, I don't even know. Anonymous Reality Tea on the Instagram. On the Instagrammies, please follow me over there. It is free. Free. Also, it is free, you guys, to share everywhere, to share these videos everywhere, so that it gets out there in these YouTube streets. So, a couple of things before we get into my recap of Mel's live. I have uploaded already on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast, the part where she starts to show the receipts of the text messages from Kimmy. And then the second part that I have that should be uploaded there momentarily, it's a longer video, but what happened was there was a point in the live where it cut out and Mel had to rejoin. And I think some people thought that the live actually ended, but it's like another hour. So I have that on my backup channel, on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast, for you guys to check that out as well. So I'm just going to do a full recap of what was said. I'll just say this right off the rip, y'all. This cast is diabolical, and I always said that everything starts at the top. Everything that Carlos King is running is a terrible operation, is, you know, a very jealous and uninspired and unoriginal operation. And it seems as though because Mel did not do what he wanted, he decided it was time to just do a fire sale and just have everybody basically go after her. And that was their ticket to screen time. That was their ticket to fame. I think Mel is talking about, so Mel had mentioned in the live, a former cast member who basically got put on ice because they were accused of being a Mel-meter, a Mel supporter. I hope that's not the late Kiki she was talking about. Because now all that projection some other people were trying to do, and they were trying to say that it is Mel's fault that Kiki, the late Kiki, was no longer on the show and all this and that. No. The relative had it right that said that the show, what was on some other stuff, and it makes sense because I found it odd that the show did not acknowledge anything about Kiki passing away. Did y'all notice that? And basically it took, practically, getting on Carlos King for him to do a low-budget PowerPoint presentation at the end of one of the episodes talking about he doesn't check his social media and that he has a social media manager run his account. Knowing Dak on well, he is very much aware of what is going on. So, nonetheless, I'm gonna do a full recap. This is probably I might break this up, y'all, because y'all know I don't like to be on here long. I don't like to do long, drawn-out videos because I know your attention spans is going to tap out after a certain point. So I'm going to kind of do this in little increments, right? So you guys can get the full picture, right? So basically, at this point, I think it almost got up to like 4,000 views, but at this point, I think it was around 1,200 views. But basically, to recap in this portion of the video, Mel says that this is disheartening that she even has to, do a video like this. She had spent the last 3 or 4 months being really quiet and just really praying. She's gotten a lot of clarity over some things. She is really, relied on her team because they were always like, hey, how much longer are you going to keep this on the download? How much longer, and she's been posting scripture. She's been posting, things for peace and everything else. And she says, that there's a time for war and a time, for silence. And then there's a time to speak out.
she said that, she's been sitting back because she said that there's a lot of questionable energy that she's been observing. And then she said she's watching what people are doing. She's watching, and then she makes the determination if somebody needs to be in certain people's lives or not anymore. And she said it was saddening. It was confirmation. And she said, to be honest, she has not watched the show this season at all. She said she's seen clips here and there. So I presume the clips that she's seeing are probably the ones from OMFG reality TV or from Love and Marriage Huntsville or Own Keep It Real or whatever. And she said sometimes she watches the clips, and she said a lot of the other times she doesn't watch the clips, and she said she has not seen one full episode this season, but she said she can speak to what obviously she's already filmed. She just doesn't know what fully made the cut and everything else. So she probably doesn't even care at this point on what people were even trying to say in confessionals, with the exception of specific situations that pertain to her. And so she said that for her, what she's going to do is she's going to speak to her truth, her facts, that's actual, that's factual. She said she's not going back and forth with people. And she said as well that, she is also going to provide a lot of the receipts. She said she might at a certain point do an extended sit-down interview. So I wanted to know, Mel, why didn't you just do this on YouTube? You could have just clicked your button on YouTube, gone live, and you could have streamed it across. I'm up here talking about this and I don't even go live. What am I talking about? You could have gone live. You could have broadcasted this through Instagram and TikTok and everything else at the same time, Mel, and everything else. And I'm up here saying this, and your girl still has not gone live. Make it make sense. But, she could have did that as well, because she got tons of people, y'all. Even her haters are now doing content about this live, y'all, who said that they don't pay attention to Mel and all these things, y'all. Nonetheless, said that the word that she described, especially when she had to sit down and film this reunion and throughout this season, she kept telling her team that this cast is very delusional. And she said, this is crazy. She said she has never seen people who are actual victims of something made to be the villain. Haven't I said that, y'all? Haven't I said that? Shout out to Mel. Shout out to Mel, y'all. And everything else. I have been saying that. Making the, victim look like the villain. Making the villain look like the victim. Having Martel and Carlos King in white suits, y'all, at the reunion like they are the angels. Make it make sense. And then also saying that, she felt the biggest issue that she had with production was the lack of due diligence, that there was no due diligence that was done. And, asking other parties as a production team, as opposed to just, again, running with what a narrative is, running with what a person says to put out false narratives that are proving not to be true. And just doing things that is going to prove that you're liable and it's defamatory. And putting out lots of narratives, putting out things that were not asked about, about clips of different defenses of behavior and decisions that nobody asked for proof for. And Mel, she can pull that paperwork. She can pull that receipts. And now people all of a sudden want to act shocked about the outcome. And what I don't understand is Martel's conviction, that was 7-8 months ago. That was well before y'all filmed the reunion. So why is everybody pretending like they're shocked and clueless? And this is what I don't understand with Carlos King. He thinks that everybody's idiots and are just going to tune into his show and are not going to do their own research, are not going to do their own fact checking. And get to the real of it. The days are gone, Carlos King, where you can fabricate any type of story or any type of narrative on a reality show and get away with it. The problem now is too many people are speaking out and calling out the practices because it is affecting their mental health, it is affecting their reputation, it is affecting their brand, it is affecting their overall well-being, and you can't continue down this path. Either people need to show their reality on the show or they need to go. It's as simple as that. But you have such personal biases and personal relationships with these people, and you get jealous and you have hate in your heart. So you want to keep people on that are contributing nothing to the show in order to go after the only person who is telling their truths on the show for clicks and views. But the people are going to take a stand and not put up with that anymore. So nonetheless, Mel's like, listen, you're being shocked about the outcome because you didn't want to know the truth, because that's not going to align with your agenda. Instead of doing due diligence and giving the appropriate proof of the direction of where things needs to go, you're not asking any questions, but then you want to play like you're shocked when the facts and the receipts come pouring out. And so, you know, why are you jumping out now and acting all out now when it's in Mel's documents? Mel's got the receipts and everything else. So what is there to lie about? And she said that the reaction is why people felt comfortable, you know, the entire season wanting to downplay and negate facts of things that, you know, easily could have been true. But again, it wasn't true. But what people wanted to build up was their own opinion and their own version, and nobody ever asked. And so now all of a sudden, and Mel talks about the fact that now all of a sudden, you know, Marceau wants to say on the reunion that y'all been seeing the video, y'all been seeing the revenge P. So now it all comes out finally. So y'all been keeping this hidden for all this time, but now it's only coming out. You knew all along what the truth was, what the facts were, what was going on, what the tea was, and you spent the entire year, you know, playing in people's faces. You know, why wasn't there a separate conversation about this a long time ago? And there wasn't, because you didn't want to. There was no desire to talk because there was a daily attempt striving to destroy Mel. There was no desire, no matter how you want to slice it, of what you created in the past. If, you know, basically, if you're not talking about the children, there was nothing to talk about. And so there's no nonsense about Mel acting about another side or another way, or that she's putting on for the cameras. She's tried to be nice to these people, try to be cordial, depending on how far you have gone to her in the past. She said she is open, but she said it depends on your efforts. And she said this situation, she said, was very few people that are close to her at this point, because, you know, of all the stuff that's gone down. And there's going to be, you know, it's going to be like this everywhere you see her. And she's like, you know, there's not going to be a conversation where you're going to walk away and say that Mel is phony or Mel is fake by the producers or by the cast members or anything else. But you understand now why there's never reconciliation on Carlos King shows. There's not a desire for resolution or conflict resolution or any type of reconciliation or anything. There's always just the climax, and they don't want to see the resolution. They just want constant chaos. And also, Mel actually was the one trying to ease down on the chaos. And then Mel said that she's very protective, in particular, on who she wants to film at her house. And she only lets a few people film in her house. Only a few people can film into her home. And she said she opened up a little bit more this time because she wanted to attempt at reconciliation. And she said that she wanted to have Black excellence, but people don't know the real definition of Black excellence. And then also she wanted to say this, that some people lacked the comprehension skills on the YouTubes, and that on the YouTubes that people, you know, were, putting out false narratives. She was shouting out to some of the haters, and she was shouting out to some of the people who wanted to spread alternative facts and everything else. So that is going to conclude this video. Like I said, I am going to give it to you guys in increments because I know y'all do not like the long-winded stuff, and I don't like long-winded stuff. So I'm going to give it to you in increments. So this is part 1 of my recap, and please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.